Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to be doing a pick a card today. I'm not really sure what I'll end up naming the video, but I wanted to do a pick a card talking about your natural strong and empowerment, leadership, and just like personality abilities that are going to take you to the next level, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, I don't know what I'm going to name the video, but we are going to get into the cards. So please subscribe, like, and comment. So we have pile 1, Queen of Wands, pile 2, Queen of Cups, and pile 3, the Devil. Okay, pile 1, you are the Queen of Wands. So we're going to take a look at your natural abilities and what is going to take you to the next level. So I feel like you are definitely channeling such a strong power from all that you've been through. Like, I genuinely feel it. I feel this kind of, you know what it feels like this rising drum within you. Some of you could work with Dark Mother Lilith as well. You don't have to. You could just have this empowerment that is really rising within you. But I'm hearing like drums in my mind. And it's like, you know, like when something is about to happen for someone and like the drums are playing, that is what I feel like is happening for you. You're on the verge of like really rising into your full potential. Now, I feel like a lot of your even past life energy has come from you being very oppressed in so much darkness and so much trauma. Notice how like it's very dark on this card all around the person in the image, but it's like you're holding that candle and that light. And I truly feel like what makes you such a great leader, what really is going to take you to the next level, is your deep understanding for going through things that not a lot of people have gone through. It is your trauma, it is your story, it is your darkness. It is everything within you that you've had to like really overcome. And I feel like your story has definitely been a lot of having to climb up. What I'm seeing is like a goat on top of the rubble. This gives me like even Lord Lucifer energy. It's like fallen angel, right? Fallen angel, like you don't understand what I've been through. You don't even like, you can't even fathom, you can't even put into words what you've been through. And I actually feel like it's this like a deep understanding with the universe that you are put through that energy so you can be either a role model, a leader. Some of you are entrepreneurs, or it is really your calling to stand in front of a lot of people. Now, what's funny is that I shuffled out all the cards and the Six of Wands came out. Okay, I obviously haven't reshuffled the deck. But if we're talking about recognition, if we're talking about this darkness, you coming into the light, this is literally your card. It is for you. I truly feel like you are supposed to be part, sorry about the camera wobbling. I truly believe that you are supposed to be part in front of people, or you are in this like high position, whether you believe it, whether you see it now or not. You are supposed to be in this high position because of that understanding and that deep understanding and even like healing that you've been through. It is like a gift. Your darkness is a gift. And had you have not been through that, I don't think that you would ever be able to have a profound effect, no matter what type of journey you're on. Even if you don't really want to be a leader, you're in a particular room with particular people for a reason. Okay, especially if you've been through a lot. You were put through a lot, so again, you could rise. So you could show people and even like help them see within themselves. So you could be a spiritual teacher, you could be a coach, you don't have to be anything with spirituality. It could be like you're a nurse, for example, or you're like, even like with the Six of Wands, you could do something that's very creative, very out there, very art. I'm actually seeing like someone that dances. I don't know what type of dancing it's called, but you know, like when, I guess it's ballet, you know, when they do like a darker ballet and it's like they like dance through their emotion. That is kind of what I'm seeing you, whether you does it, I mean, you don't have to dance, right? But that's what I see for you. I see you like purging out this pain. And whether, again, you're a leader, whether it's just people need to watch you, you need to do something in the public eye, you have this to show people. And I feel like for a long time, your trauma was kept very secretive here. It was kept like very hidden from other people. It was almost shameful, is what I feel like, maybe in past lives as well. It was always like this shame. And you know what they're showing me is like a past life where, this is going to sound a bit delusional, but listen, we're all for a little bit of delusion over here on this channel. And I say things, but remember, like, we always see signs through things. But I truly believe you were either a god, a goddess in a past life, or you were an ancestor. This could even be to come, like way beyond your lifetime, right? But it feels like you were almost honored either in a past life, or this kind of goddess energy of like the Queen of Wands, even this godlike energy that you even have access to now and that you channel. I feel like people would come and leave you offerings, or some of you work with the dead here as well, and like honoring the dead, honoring the darkness, honoring your truth and your authentic self, and whatever that looks like is something that you prioritize, or you will prioritize, because there is something around like you being in this like very lethargic state where you could only really receive offerings. You couldn't speak necessarily. You could only observe things around you. And maybe this is what your trauma has felt like, observing a lot around you, not necessarily knowing the truth, just observing things. I feel like you went through that for a reason. And I feel like, again, that oppression, the way her head is covered, you could even be like religious. You could wear a headscarf here as well, right? Or like covering your body and like, you know, like really having that sacred space even with your body. For some of you, it's not even about like your religion or your spirituality. It's like, I need to cover my head, right? It's like sacred things that you may do every day actually have a lot deeper importance than you realize. And again, I feel like you like being crowned with this energy, it's like your energy remembers this. You remember being honored in a past life, or you remember what it felt like to be in such lack, that it gives you superpower, and it's going to take you to the next level. And notice how, like, it's funny because I actually feel like the Queen of Wands is your past, and I feel like the Six of Wands here is where you're going. It's what's taking you to the next level. This was the past energy for sure, right? It was almost like the things that you went through, and like you're coming out almost conquering. And you see the significance of the candles, and then a candle holder on the head. It's like, that is what's going to take you to the next level, this deep understanding within yourself. So I feel like what makes you a great leader is deep understanding, it's empathy, it is seeing all sides. Some of you are doing something in law, or being a good moral person is important to you. And obviously the word good, it's not just good, right? Good and bad like has so many in-depth meanings when you look at it. So what I'm saying is good may not always be seen as good to other people, but collectively on this channel, I feel like we have a good understanding of each other, and I feel like that is what you are taking forwards as well into this next level, is this deep understanding for other people. The Chariot. So I feel like you really teach people how to overcome their obstacles. You know what makes you like a strong and empowering leader? And this is like the Wheel of Fortune here as well, is that you don't expect anything from anyone. You're not someone who, like, even when we look at like the Justice card, for example, because that is a lot of what I'm channeling actually. Like with the Justice card, it's like a balance. Like you want to give some, it's like you want to receive some, you better give some, right? You know, it needs to be this balance of like giving and taking and flow. But I actually feel like what is taking you to the next level, what makes you the fucking best of the best, babe, is you not expecting anything. In maybe past lives, you had people really honor you. Like I said, you could have even been teachers in past lives for many years. But I actually feel you're not expecting it in this life. It's almost as if you're just sitting and observing so much. And because you are willing to listen to yourself, because you've been through so much deep fucking pain, it's almost as if like you sit and you're just like, that doesn't faze me. Really and truly, that doesn't faze me, because I see right through you. You see other people's trauma. And whether you believe it or not, whether it's, again, super part of your path or not, in some shape or form, I truly feel like you set other people alight here, okay? You really shift other people. You almost, like, people look at you and it gives me Medusa energy, kind of, right? How she turns men to statues. But it almost feels like people look at you and it's like they see the pain in themselves. It's like this mirror effect. And I actually feel like there is something around timelines here. And I feel like people around you are very material, or, you know, like people just like, they don't get it the way that you get it. And I'm not even trying to gas you up. It's like you show people that there's more by facing yourself, by like going through some deep things. You help people, like you are very kind and you are very giving, but I truly feel like you are not someone here that is going to be walked all over. You are not someone here that communal living, you see. You have moved a lot in your life. You have had literally nothing. All that designer stuff, all like the materialism, even in your career, even just achieving what you want in life, does it really matter at the end of the day? No, it doesn't. And I feel like you're growing this kind of like love for life. You know, I was talking about Hades a lot with a friend today, and I truly feel like Hades is almost coming in here with a bit of input, or a bit of mirroring of like, life really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have at the end of the day, because we are all gonna die, and I'm gonna die like a free version of myself. I'm gonna die like being what I want, loving what I want. And maybe there is a lot of people around you at this time who don't understand the way that you're living. They don't understand why you're choosing a path. Some of you aren't even doing like the best of the best right now. I almost get like someone is even either pushing you or trying to pull you back, and they're like, why don't you do this instead? Or why don't you take it further? But you're like, no, because that's not my path. Because I understand deeply about life and about things that I've been through. Some of you grew up in like, not adoption centers. What is the word? I feel like I can't think of the word. Adoption centers, no. As someone is screaming at the screen right now, I can feel it. I don't know what the word is, right? But you grew up in care homes, okay? You grew up like in places that weren't home. Some of you don't even know your family, and it's, again, it's giving like I literally just fucking came to earth and somehow I've ended up in this life. Some of you may relate to that a little bit, okay? But again, some of you, like, you have this real healing and medicine to life. There is something about the circle of life for you. So I feel like here's the thing, right? What is going to take you to the next step for you is you having this kind of, not cold exterior, right? But this kind of mutual understanding with the universe that nothing can overtake you, nothing can really truly oppress you, because you've done the healing work. And I feel as though you're going to move into this energy of just doing the things that you want. And I am seeing like a domino effect, but it's like you're hitting these dominoes and it's like one by one I'm slashing it down. I'm slashing and I'm just living and I'm doing whatever it is that I want to do. And I think what makes you so empowering is is just doing and creating and loving, right? Being very existing, like co-creating with the universe. That is what you're moving into, and that's what's going to take you to the top, because you understand truth, you understand emotions, you understand what people go through. And you may even look at people who are going through things, and like, whether you like them or not, whether you know them or not, you have just like this empathy for them. Some of you could even be like dark empaths. Now, I'm not talking like psychologically, because I know dark empaths can be very manipulative, right? They can be very like narcissistic, and like that is not the vibe. But I feel like in terms of spirituality, a dark empath is someone that, like, to me anyway, my understanding is that it is someone that soaks up a lot of the darker emotions, but it's almost as if like you're watching a fire. Does that make sense? Like you're watching a bonfire. Whereas like an empath, I feel like you feel very emotional, like you just feel deeply for people. But I feel like a dark empath, and like what I choose to like see as well, not even that it's an actual definition, but I see as someone who is literally staring at this fire, like someone that sees that darkness within other people, that just sees that internal like flame. And it's not necessarily like super sad, but it's super real. And I truly feel like that realness is going to bring you relationships. So you are going to overcome many fucking obstacles here. I do feel like there could be a challenge here, maybe around money for you, okay? Or there is something around like you having this deep awakening, and you could have already had it, but I actually feel like it's coming up. There is something that is going to deeply awaken everything within you, and it's going to set you in the next order, okay? It's going to set you on the right path. And I feel like it is having faith with the universe. I think that it is learning a very important lesson, whether it be around money, about work, around life, okay? You are going to learn to build your work ethic, or you're going to finally start to feel so connected in your passion. And I think truly what it is that a lot of your energy has been just moving around a lot. It has just been carrying this trauma. And I feel like you're at this stage where your money is going to start to improve. Your passions are going to start to align. What you had envisioned for yourself, I feel like it was either too much, or it was not a true, authentic representation of your energy. And I feel like you are almost going to choose a path that is very unknown, very different, but your soul feels very safe with. And you know what it's going to bring? New connections, new collaborations with people. It's going to bring you a deep sense of fulfillment. And you know what it is? You are now like going to be navigating a lighter energy. And that doesn't mean that like you're not going to have this darkness. And again, I was saying with a friend today, it is so important to have the balance of both. It's okay to be both. But I feel like you see the way like they're coming into the light. This is it. Like something is ready for you now to start like navigating. You've just ended a huge healing cycle, and it was this like realization within self that you could do anything. And it's going to make you a great leader. Like truly, I see you. Here's the thing, I actually feel like you're going to have a lot more collaborations, especially with people, and especially if you felt alone all your life. But I feel like there is something important morally about your work that connects you with this Queen of Wands. So it could be your own business, you could be an entrepreneur, it could be something creative. Maybe it's not even about work, maybe it's about just finally like choosing love, choosing experience. And maybe that experience isn't just with people, maybe it's about like how you make time for that, you know, how you make time for the things that you love. And I just feel like it's all going to come together. And you see the building in the background. I feel like your business or the life that you created for yourself is finally going to start to come together. And maybe you thought in the past that getting something off the ground was really hard, but it is going to happen for you, and it's going to be so fucking beautiful and amazing. I love and appreciate you, Pal 1. I hope that was helpful. Pal 2, I think this was Pal 2. I'm pretty sure it was. You are the Queen of Cups. So let's go ahead and take a look what energy is coming towards you. So I honestly feel like, firstly, I feel like I needed to trust my intuition with picking up this deck. What is your kind of superpower in this world? What makes you so great, so strong and a true authentic leader is your ability to nurture yourself and other people. It is your ability to choose love even in the hardest of times. And I feel like it has been a very big battle with your heart, okay? It has been a very big battle with your heart to trust people, to trust that things are going to work out. But I feel like you are an empath and you're someone that is actually very centered around emotions. And I feel like there is something around your inner child here really coming up. So I feel like you should connect with your inner child. But I don't know if you felt very deeply, again, you're an empath. I sense a lot of love in your heart. And I say this because I feel like this pile doesn't really resonate with me. Like, so this is how I know like it's you. Because I feel like your love language is like very different to mine. Your love language is like choosing to see love even if that person is the worst person in the world. Like your heart bleeds. Does that make sense? Like I actually, like they're showing me like literally like a heart in your hand. Someone could literally rip out your heart, but still you're holding it and you feel it. And you don't let anything taint that heart. And it comes from your inner child just witnessing so much shit around you. Maybe it's the way people have treated you growing up as well. But I just feel like your inner child is just so special. It is something that you keep safe and it is something that is sacred within you. And I actually feel like your inner child wants to help you lead the way. And I feel like because you've had a lot of this emotional turmoil here, because you've been through a lot, it's been very hard for you to not feel oversensitive about things, to really like even put up boundaries a little bit. There could have been like a karmic relationship here that you've dealt with, or you know, relationships in general, like navigating them and not giving your all to a person is something that is very difficult for you, or it's something that you really had to learn to control. You've had to learn to control your emotions, okay? Because people take advantage of you, or like there was a relationship, this karmic relationship maybe that you were so deeply in love with, but it either didn't work out, or it almost feels like you had to learn to stop loving for a little bit. Ooh, and I'm seeing like you turned cold for a little bit. It was like very numb. It was like a numb feeling. I don't know if you have gone through a lot of mental health. I actually see someone. I don't know if you've been like hospitalized because of your pain, or like you've just kept a lot of this mental turmoil within you. But I feel like there is something around like relationships and the way that it numbed you for a very long time, because it was like almost like not like, it's almost like you felt too much. And then you had to teach yourself to stop feeling that pain and not feeling love within your life, whether it was navigating career, whether it was just having to take a break, having to, I'm seeing someone even like having to go back to traditional work, something that they didn't even feel centered around. Some of you could be nurses here as well, or you do a line of work that is very important to you. And of course you have medicine woman here as well, medicine man and woman. Like it's very important that you take care of others. You could even work in like care homes and listen to other people's stories around you. But that energy, it did something to you. That relationship, it took a part of your soul that I feel like you have even struggled to get back. And even just is what I'm hearing, you just got it back. You just managed to really feel through that relationship. But I feel like your whole energy is really centered around navigating those emotions and learning to feel emotions for the present moment. I feel like, okay, you definitely need to learn some type of boundaries here, but I feel like you are going to be working on building a career or rebuilding self at the moment. And notice the way she's pouring the water in the bucket, okay, to grow her plants. There is something about you wanting to rebuild this energy, and whether it's rebuilding yourself and your career because you had to take a break or you had to prioritize something else, I feel like you're going to really learn to get your mojo back. And a part of your healing is actually healing the lack within you. It is finding your love for life again. And I feel like for a long time, you've just done things because they needed to be done. You have a lot of poverty consciousness here, okay? So especially if you're trying to build a business, what is going to take you to the next step is healing those limitations and lack, looking at the way that you even eat as well. The way I was eating, I didn't realize how much that affected my business. How like I would eat for the sake of eating because like subconsciously I felt like I wasn't making enough or I wasn't enough to build the life of my dreams. Things like that are going to be so important, but for you, I feel like it is really centered around your emotional growth within you. You are learning to like really rise within self here, okay? And it is going to be finding like things that you love. You're going to start to either re-water old career opportunities, maybe things that you feel like you really wanted to do but at the time it wasn't possible and you kind of let things grow stagnant, or you did something else instead. But you're going to be revisiting what you want. Some of you are going back to school here. You're choosing like spiritual medicine as well. Like you, like the energy is very expansive for you, especially as the Queen of Cups. Like anything is possible. But I feel like for you, what makes you such a great leader, what truly takes you to the top, is this creative energy and flow that you have. Your emotions are literally like your power. They are your power. And when you learn to navigate that alongside navigating self and who you are, navigating like how you feel about yourself, because there is definitely something around relationships here and you needing to not be cold, but have a bit of a boundary. Yeah. But also like allowing things like career to consume you, you're going to start to move into the energy of your emotions, which is, honey, to feel. It is to feel. When I feel like being creative, I'm going to be creative. If I feel like not going to work today, I'm going to honor that. You are going to have such a fucking glow up. And I actually feel like maybe there is something around your hair here as well. When you were either going through a lot of trauma or recently your hair has been a bit dry, if you're a feminine, or it's just been like not yourself. Like you may even look in the mirror and I feel like you're going to look at yourself and you're going to be like, damn, like I'm extra tired. I've got a bit of dark circle going on. Like I've really lost myself. But the mirror is going to really break and it's going to like motivate you to, okay, I'm going to start taking better care of myself. I need to like cut this person off because I don't have the emotional capacity to carry that person. You are going to be rebuilding your life for you. And by doing that, when I tell you you're going to attract the relationship that you want, you're going to heal from these endings and betrayals. You're almost going to have such a new beginning. The Six of Cups. There is something around this past relationship that betrayed you, someone that deeply hurt you, that you need to process and go through. And it fucking sucks. It sucks to have to go through that emotional purging again. I know, like even today, one of my datees told me today, like, you're going to go through some emotional purging, be ready. And I was like, why? Why do I have to go through it again? But you know what, how I know like everything is going to work out? Because going through that emotional purging, that is how I know, like when emotional destruction hits my life, I'm going to excel beyond means. I'm going to go far beyond what I thought my expectation was. And you are really going to have this realization. And sometimes we hear you need to do shadow work, you need to heal. We hear that stuff so much that sometimes it kind of just feels like, oh, well, I've done that. But until you go through it in the proper way, you don't realize, okay, wow, that makes sense. Like that, like confirmation that come from my guides, that it actually feels like a lot clearer. Why didn't no one tell me this before? I used to spend so much time doing so much shadow work, okay? Literally the death card. Look how that was the only card that turned upright. You're going to go through some fucking death, but it's going to take you across these waters. It's going to take you to where you need to go. So yeah, I have been through shadow work literally my whole life since 2020 when I started my spiritual awakening. And like I would heal from things, but until I actually started to face my pain, that was when the real change happened in my life. And it was like all the shadow work I'd done before was nothing compared to what I was doing now. So I want you to think, every time you hear I need to do shadow work and healing, I need you to know that it is supposed to take you deeper within yourself. And when it takes you deeper within yourself, the more you're going to fucking rise, the more you're going to receive. And I tell no lies because I've been through it. Every single time I have to end a person, cord cutting, I have to deal with my emotions. That emotional exchange, learning to navigate my emotions, takes me far beyond my means. I'm telling you. And look what's here, the 7 of Pentacles. Your future is going to be brighter. You see how you're going to start to rebuild? You're going to actually want to get up, and it's like you're going to start to feel so motivated about life. Right now, there is something around you sitting on this throne, and look at the surrounding, right? It's like, yes, she's trying to regrow, but something about it just feels so limiting. It feels like, okay, I'm just going to do what I need to do. You're limiting yourself. But that death card, it's going to take you beyond your means. I'm telling you. So the King of Cups, counterpart energy. There is, what did I say about a relationship? There are going to be new relationships here. You're going to meet someone with the same emotional capacity that you have, that loves so deeply like you do. But I feel like you have been really like losing faith within relationships and kind of where you are right now, and feeling like no one really understands you because, again, you feel so deeply. Even just channeling your energy, I personally feel like I've never encountered anything like that before. So that is how you know you're going to go so deeply and you're going to meet someone that mirrors that energy, okay? 3 of Wands, 9 of Swords. What is going to take you beyond your means to the next level? So yeah, I feel like you're going to be letting go of something that is stagnant. It could be friendships here, okay? With the 9 of Swords, you're not in a happy place right now. As much as you try to pretend you are, as much as you ignore your intuition, okay? You're not happy, babe, okay? Or there is something still missing in your life. And you can feel it. You can feel it through your subconscious. You're kind of just having faith right now. It always reminds me, the 9 of Swords, of like lying in bed and just like, okay, I'm just going to scroll on social media because something's going to work out. I know it is. But like, I don't want to feel it, and I can't be bothered to keep replaying it in my head. But I feel like something was not working for you. This could be a job. This could be friendships, relationships, people. But you need to go on this solo journey. So there is something that is parting from your life. And it may be that something just doesn't work out. A manifestation doesn't come true because it wasn't the right energy for you. Maybe it's that, again, what you were growing was so small, it's not a true representation. I didn't even pull the 7 of Pentacles out, but that 7 of Pentacles was definitely very like, it was more structured. It felt more alive. It felt like, okay, I'm building something now. I'm actually building something. whether it's relationships, whether it's an energy with yourself, whether it's career. And I feel like you are holding yourself back, maybe even like for some deep hope that this relationship is going to work out. And I don't know why, but it's like the guides are kind of saying you were waiting for something. You don't even, like, it's nothing particular. You don't even know what it was, but it was like you were waiting for something. And being in that waiting energy has just caused you so much turmoil. And they're like, you know what? No, it's not working. You see the way he's like in the water, he's like reflecting into the water. You have to do this emotional purging. You have to feel your emotions and go through this energy. You have to do this alone in the beginning, okay? You can't cross over in death with other people. You can't. Okay? You just can't. It's only going to linger on the other side as well. So I even feel like Hades energy here reminding you that, again, we are all human, and one day things have to end, okay? And we're all going to have to cross over alone at some point. But with the Six of Pentacles here, there is going to be better flow, okay? Look, we have to pay death here. We all have to take a token in this life. And I feel like you're about to find your token. I love and appreciate you. I hope that was helpful. Okay, pole 3, you are the devil. So, you know what I feel like saying, right? I just feel like saying, let's shake things up. The last 2 poles were definitely a little bit deep. But as soon as I got to your energy, I feel this fire, this magnetic energy, this maybe even a bit of like devil energy, like this daredevil energy, like let's fuck shit up. That is what I feel for you. So I feel like what makes you an empowering leader is your ability to hold other people and yourself accountable. With the devil energy, okay, this talks about addictions, attachments, but I feel like for you, it is you facing that shit. It is like you are alchemy. You are an alchemist. You are a leader of your own life through and through. It does not matter what you're going through. Like, I'm going to show up for myself. What makes you actually very inspiring and empowering as well is that you don't give no fucks, literally. You go for what you want. You strive for what you want. And maybe you don't even realize this in yourself, but it feels like you choose the path that you want, even if it's like scary or even if it seems so unrealistic. I feel like sometimes the devil card can be very unrealistic, or we can be in places of attachment to things, and sometimes that attachment can blind us. But I feel like for you, it empowers you. You're not willing to settle in this life, especially with the devil. And look, you probably have a lot of healing, a lot of attachment to things that you have to face. You've probably been through a lot of darkness. But I feel like you're not scared of it in a way, even if it's the most terrifying thing in the moment. Like, you're willing to go through it. Like, if someone says to you, like, in order to be a millionaire now, you need to walk through fire, you are walking through fire. Does that make sense? Whether that means like having to face yourself, having to do the extra work. When it comes to you and your dreams, there is nothing stopping you. When it comes to the things that you want, there is nothing stopping you. And I feel like this is what makes you like truly great. And I see actually a lot of people may not say this to you. People may actually villainize you, make you a black sheep. Some people are even scared of your energy. But people see inspiration in you. That is one thing they can't say. They look at your life and it feels like you've lived 5 lives. It feels like you have gone far and beyond. You're someone that isn't scared to spend a lot of time alone. You're a lone wolf. 5 of Wands. You've had to overcome a lot of burden, a lot of drama, a lot of battle with people. You've often felt like very isolated when it comes to people. Like, being around people may even scare you, even as the devil yourself. It's funny because what people associate with the devil doesn't scare you, doesn't even faze you, right? It's a walk in the park for you. But like, what scares you, other people are like, well, that's just normal, like being a normal person, having normal experiences, just living a normal life, paying bills. That sort of stuff scares you. But the actual thing that scares other people, you're not scared of. And I actually feel like you're not scared to walk away from other people. What makes you great is that you're like, if something is not working for you, I'm walking away. I see you just like walking a different path. Even the way he's looking down at those people. And even as the devil yourself, right? Even if you're like the most like attached person, I'm not saying you judge other people, but as the devil has to do healing. It has to acknowledge his own path, right? He has to find himself. People think like the devil is like just very negative, very like whatever, but the devil has to adapt to so fucking much that people don't realize. People just assume, oh, like you're bad, right? But you're not. You're not scared to distance yourself, to like walk the path alone. And it's like you're looking at these people and you're like, wow, you're sitting here and you're judging me. But look at the way like you have ropes all around you. Look at the way you're attached. Even if like I am the devil in your mind, at least I've faced myself. And I feel like that is what makes you really great, because you have an eye for things that other people don't. You know how like sometimes you have to, that quote, like you have to take a step back in order to see the full scope of things. You have an eye for detail. And it could come through your work, through like everyday stuff, like, oh, I noticed that. Or it could be that you're very creative as well. You're very artsy. The Queen of Pentacles. There is some hesitation for you to be who you truly are. So what is going to take you to the next step, the Two of Pentacles, you to finally own who you are and do the things that you want to do without carrying emotional baggage, financial baggage, without even having to have things worked out. You have carried like the magic all along. I'm seeing the Magician in my mind as well. You have this like deep intelligence and like freedom within you that you don't pay enough attention to, right? It's all in the details. It's all in the way that you live. It's the small things that are going to take you to the next level. It is these ideas that you think like are not going to get off the ground, but they are. The Two of Wands. You may need to do some more planning around things, and maybe like even get a lot of focus here. But there is something around you building your own empire. It is supposed to be. But I don't know why. I'm seeing like, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like a masculine in like a leather jacket. You don't have to be a masculine. This is just what I'm seeing in my vision. But I'm seeing a masculine in a leather jacket just walking down the street. And he's like everything like a bad boy archetype, right? And he's walking down the street, but he doesn't really have a home. He just like goes from bar to bar, from place to place, from like whatever. Like he walks his path alone. He doesn't really have friends. Like could be the most like fun to talk to, right? Because the devil, I feel like it's fun, right? Like down for anything. Like if you want to party all night, I'll party all night with you. But when it comes to building something for himself, that is like a concept that it's like, am I deserving of a foundation? Am I deserving of a business? There is something wired within you that tells you that you can't have this business, or you're not financially good for this, or this is not financially possible for me. Maybe it's this energy of like, I've always walked alone. I've always been a lone wolf, so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to heal relationships. And that is amazing for you. Sometimes we don't need to, right? The healing is one-to-one. It is within self. But it's like, I'm not going to like try and build anything anywhere else. I'm just going to do my own thing. Well, I feel like it's time for you to start building long term, especially around career. So there could be something around karmic relationships for you, wars and battles. Okay, well, the universe is like the options are literally so open for you. There's something around karmic relationships, okay? Unrequited love. Whether this was a love that really tainted you, or the relationships that you had around you were very like toxic, or how do I explain this? Very oppressing. You know, it feels like even with like either your parents or relationships around you, I'm seeing like chains on the hands. It's like they were chained to you. Does that make sense? So it was like these relationships were never really relationships or friendships, because they are, and they were so beautiful and so connected. They were relationships because those people like drained you, or you had to be attached to those individuals. And the second that you freed yourself from it, the second that you said, no, I'm not carrying this energy, maybe you even have like challenge with authority here. Like your masculine energy definitely has like really numbed and almost walked away from building relationships, because there are some fears here. People took advantage of you. Like people even put you down, and then it's like the second that you rose, like it was like all judgment. It was all like, like, what can you do for me now? You know what I mean? Something around this energy wasn't authentic. So I feel like you are parting away from these old relationships, and a part of your energy is building, maybe through writing. Maybe you need to write a book, or you need to do some even shadow work here. You need to bring something back into the light, okay? Because I feel like it's all well being the devil, but again, we also have to look at ourselves. And you've done a lot of that, but it is time to overcome these challenges with other people. And it's not necessarily the healing that you need to do from them, it is what you're still mirroring. So maybe you had an authority figure, a father, a masculine, a relationships here, like male and female, okay, your parents. Some of you like were deeply religious in a past life as well. You were very strong in leadership, again, especially as the devil, right? Knighthood, you see, there's a reason like the universe brought all this energy out. You made a vow in a past life here to be for other people, or to help other people heal. A part of your soul contract could be to really teach your parents or teach people around you. It's funny because it's like this energy of like you being an authority figure. Like I said, I'm seeing you as like very strong, like very like in your own power. But there is also something around like other people and the way that they've overpowered you. So you need to look at what you're mirroring still in terms of mindset, subconscious energy, especially when it comes to a business. And maybe a form of writing can help with that if you don't want to write a book, or you don't want to tell your story, right? But there is something around like the way other people have been showing up around you, and the qualities that you're taking from them that aren't yours to carry anymore. So maybe it's like, again, someone overpowered you when you were younger, so like now you don't really like overtake in that sense. Like you don't ever go above and beyond for yourself, because you were always taught to be oppressed. Yes, you're in your power, but you still walk a path that dims you. Does that make sense? So I feel like a lot of your healing is to do with rebuilding your life for you, and really like forming your own narrative around yourself, especially as the devil, okay? Like anything is possible for you. And I feel like you walking away from the things that I've deeply centered you in one narrative is going to be good for you to walk away from, because it's really going to create more freedom within you. Okay, I love and appreciate you, Pile 3. I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next one.